Alright, so for those of you playing EK, which I imagine are quite a few, considering that's all the videos I've been making, you might have seen on trade site that the gear pieces I had on my character were listed a few days ago. Now they're sold, but yes, I did sell my gear. I re-rolled. I felt like I was at the point with the EK character where I sort of hit the ceiling. Like there were still things I could do, certainly, on build changes, but I feel like potential-wise I was sort of there, so I wanted something that I could tinker with a bit more, so I re-rolled, and we are on to another build here. So we're back to R-Stacker. For the few of you who've followed the channel for a while, not that I'm uploading super regularly or anything, but I did play R-Stacker, and I did make videos for it a few weeks ago, like I forget the number, but like Arch Nemesis League, I think. And that was really fun, so I was going to try it again. And now there's a lot of people playing Spark this league, and there are a lot of variants of Spark. So the variant I chose is actually one of the least popular ones, I imagine, because of just the pure investment needed. So I had a lot of currency from selling all my gear and from doing apothecary farming, and I had like 300 div or something, and then I sold my gear, so I had even more. So I've just been throwing mirrors into this gear basically. So it's not like the character's not perfect, but I had an well enough currency to build the CI Ascendant Spark properly. So it does work now, and it's quite good. But there's also other alternatives. So there's Inquisitor Spark Ursak, which is certainly the cheaper option, and it offers more on-hit damage. Initially, I think Ascendant genuinely can outscale that, but I'll go into that a bit later on how to do that. I'm not there yet, but I do think Ascendant is really strong if at the super high end, but anywhere below the super high end, I think Inquisitor Life or Stacking Spark is just stronger. But yeah, otherwise than that, you can do Poison Spark or Trickster Cold Spark. Both those are really cool, but yeah, so yeah, I did CI or Stacker on a Scion, and I don't know if I want to go through the build entirely. Like, I don't want this video to be another 40-minute fucking escapade of me looking at gear. But I guess I can go through it a bit easily. So basically, the concept of an aura stacker is you stack aura effect and aura reservation to stack a bunch of auras and get a bunch of resists and really good defense while also getting quite respectable damage out of it. So I'm currently running, it's like 10 or 11 auras, I think. This is the passive tree, so we're running a bunch of voices with the triple reservation efficiency introspection jewels. Well, I guess not triple, double reservation and then one introspection. Introspection gives you 10% aura effect. That's in every voices, so we're running those small clusters to give a bunch of mana reservation and a bunch of aura effect. And together with that, we are doing the old Scion trick of getting a bunch of crit multi. So what you do is you get a lethal pride in this slot here, which gives all the surrounding nodes strength on them. And then you use Transcendent Fleshes, which give you 7 crit multi per 10 strength on unallocated passives and radius. So that counts all these unallocated passives, which now have 4 strength on them. So it gives you both of these jewels here, which are both Transcendent Fleshes, give you loads and loads of crit multi. So that's, sort of the general, people have been doing this for a while, but that's an easy way of getting a bunch of crit multi on Ascendant Spark. Otherwise, I am fully spell suppression capped. I am at 90 auras and ailment immune from Purity of Elements. So yeah, the build is extremely tanky. It's got around 400k HP on POB with a one-hit damage. I mean, I can just show you. I guess I have it open. I didn't want to really make this video too, let's not stare too much at POB, but sure, let's show the POB off here real quick. So yeah, this is the POE. So we are at about around 400k EHP. We are at, so the hit damage right now is 25 million. This can scale a lot higher, but this is where I could get with my current gear. So yeah, spell pressure capped, and yeah, the build is really strong. Yeah, obviously, if you're playing an Inquisitor, you might be, like, obviously, this number on Inquisitor goes super high because they just ignore enemy resistances. So, yes, it's not super on-hit. The on-hit damage isn't crazy, but, like, as always with Spark, the on-hit doesn't really, it's not representative of the full DPS. The theoretical full is, like, probably, like, over 150 mil or something, like, with what I'm running. But let's just say 4 hits per cast, which I think is pretty reasonable in a Cyrus arena, basically, and then obviously the damage goes up way high. So item wise, I'll just go through to the game again here. Item wise, I'm running 2 nebuluses for the damage. Nebuluses give you increased cold and lightning damage per resistance above 75%, and since we have 80 in all of them, that gives you a lot of damage from each of these. We could run Aegis Aurora if you want to be super tanky, but I don't see the need. This character is almost unkillable already, so that's no need. And for the relic, this is actually the reason I wanted to make an aura stacker to begin with. I got this dropped, which is 3 maximum fire res and then 6 cold pen. So this is actually really good for this build exactly. So the maximum to fire res, all the +3 to maximum res are really good with aura stacker right now because they nerfed melding of the flesh. Where did I put mine? Mine is over here, maybe? Yeah. So melding now gives you -4 to all the maximum elemental resists, which it didn't used to do. But now with the relic, we can still get to 90 very easily because this counteracts most of that downside, and we can get the full 90 on res, which helps us a lot with elemental mitigation. So yeah. That's that. We're running 1 Call of the Brotherhood and 1 Nimis. So Nimis doubles the spark duration, and spark duration is basically DPS, because the longer a spark survives or lasts on the field, the more hits it can do, and it can hit once every 0.66 seconds. So this is actually, for mapping, I'd say, isn't really huge. You can run 2 Call of the Brotherhoods, and if you want a display of how much damage that adds to the just pure on hit, if we switch the Nimis out for another Call of the Brotherhood, you can see that the damage goes up, like almost doubles. It's a bit less, but it's like 60% more damage or something, which is really strong. So for mapping, you could just do two calls and then switch for, if you want to do bossing, do Nimis, because Nimis literally doubles your damage, if not more. So Nimis is a bit stronger for that, but just for mapping, you could indeed just do 2 Call of the Brotherhoods. For now, I'm just doing Nimbus though. So yeah, for the belt, I kept my Mage Blood, obviously. This is one of the builds that Mage Blood is really good on. We are getting crit strike chance, which helps with our damage for Spark. We are getting a bunch of armor, and I'm using both the Cold and Topaz Flask for the elemental mitigation. Probably better to switch out the Topaz for a Ruby Flask. I should probably do that because fire damage is a bit more prevalent than lightning in general cases. And then on this, we're getting extra armor and the reduced mana costs to make our Spark castable. For the Quicksilver Flask, I put cast speed on there right now. We could change this out if you want to be curse immune. You could do that on here. Or if you want to do elemental ailment immunity through the Storm Shroud Jewel and the Flask suffix, you can do that. I chose to just go full DPS here, just get more juice out because I feel like I'm pretty good covered. So I chose to start getting elemental ailment mitigation from Purity of Elements this time. So we're running obviously Ash of the Stars, which increases our quality on all the gems, and Purity of Elements actually has a pen quality. So this is actually not a bad thing overall. It gives you 2 pen, which is not bad for a bit of damage, and obviously all elemental resistances. So this is basically all, because we do both lightning and cold damage, so the 2 pen is actually more than you'd think. And yeah, it's not bad, but it is not, I don't know, it is a big cost to get elemental ailment immunity this way, but for now, I'm going to roll with this. Damage-wise, it's probably the most damage I can squeeze out of it right now with my current gear, but I'll try and work on this and try and get it some out of the way, because I do think that a full 50% aura is a big cost to pay. But yeah, you can see I have an empty gem soul here because I'm still working on the gear. Okay, relax. For the helmet, it's just a regular old-ass Eldritch helmet. We're getting +4 on this helmet to boost our smite. So the smite, which is great, it doesn't even fit on screen because all the text. But basically, smite gives you an aura when you use it on an enemy, and that aura gives you a bunch of lightning damage and some attack speed with quality and cast speed. So it basically functionally doubles your damage when you have this aura up. So you want to keep this up whenever you need to double your damage. So bosses and stuff. General mapping, you won't need it, but so yeah, it really scales with gem level. So that's why we are both getting +4 from the helmet, and the Empower gets a bunch of levels as well. You can actually get more levels on the helmet by getting +2 melee gems, and if I bother, I might be able to look into maybe making that work, but that is for the future. We're running Spark Gloves, so I'm actually really happy with these. So I bought these with the suffixes already done, because I've tried crafting these before, and crafting the suffixes is just miserable, so I didn't want to do that. So I bought them with the suffixes done for it was like 30 div or something, so pretty standard cost. And then I did the prefixes. So the way you do the prefixes here, if you don't want, so the actual Giga damage version is if you want the slower proj as a prefix as well, alongside all this to get the full 9 links. But I didn't really want that, or I didn't want to go for it, I guess. I just didn't see it being worth. But yeah, so you go, suffix can be changed, then you reforge a speed, which guarantees a faster projectiles roll, and then, you pray for tier 1, and then when you get the tier you want, you lock suffixes again, and then you ashling and hope to hit these suffixes can be changed, and then you hope to unveil +2 to socketed projectile gems. Because we are running Spark in these gloves, and obviously Spark has a spell scale really well with gem level, and Spark has a projectile tag, so getting the unveiled +2 to level socketed projectile gems is a lot better than getting the crafted +1. Obviously, it's another gem level, it's a lot of damage, but it is difficult to hit this, but I did do a few tries of this. I think I did like 5 or 6 unveils, I think, before I hit this, but I did hit this, and it didn't cost that much all together, so I'm really happy with this pair of gloves. With the last prefix, I think this is the best craft you can probably do, which is increased damage during a flask effect. Obviously, during leech is way higher, it's more damage, but we're not really leeching. So yeah, that doesn't really work. The optimal prefix here would be to, like, I don't know, exalt, slam, slower, proj on, but yeah, that is not really an option. In the past, you could augment influence with harvest, and that would guarantee a slower proj roll. So if I could do that, these guys would be completely insane. But I can't do that because that craft no longer exists. But yeah, so that's it. And then obviously we're running Spark and Inspiration, Cold Pen, and SebK for the supports. So getting a very powerful Spark out of this. For the boots, just Tailwind, Onslaught, Elusive boots, nothing crazy here. Get some spell suppression on there. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the gear. Bottled Faith for the unique flask. You can swap this out for something else, but Bottled Faith is just a lot of damage, so that's cool. What else? With the jewels, I have a rare jewel here with just some crit multi and reduced mana cost of skills. So you need some more reduced mana cost of skills rather than just the 25 from the flask in order to fully cast all your curses and auras and stuff, and we are running Sniper's Mark currently as a curse. So the way you could do it is you could get this cluster here, which gives you some ES. It's not very good ES. It's actually generally a pretty bad cluster because it's a lot of points and you don't get that much out of it, but it does give you 10% reduced mana cost of skills while on full energy shield, which helps a lot. I chose not to do this, and instead get 5% on the jewel, which lets me cast everything reasonably well. And obviously this is 10% is more, and that will let me loosen the restrictions on my mana a bit because I could reserve a bit more, but this works for me now, and it's fine. And then I ended up, that's the way it is. So my Spark costs 3 mana. You want to make sure not to have your Spark cost 0, because then you don't get the inspiration charges. I've made this mistake before. Otherwise, for jewels, we have a Watcher's Eye here. So the core thing you want on a Watcher's Eye, as with all CI builds probably, is the energy shield per enemy hit. Very good sustain, and I got a really nice one actually, because this gives you permanent arcane surge and crit with hatred. So yeah, this is quite the expensive Watcher's Eye, but I think I got it a bit cheaper than I should have. But yeah, I'm very happy with this. And otherwise, some special pressure notes here. Here we're getting some projectile speed, because projectile speed is really good with Spark. It's basically more damage, and yeah, much more nodes. And yeah, quick addendum here. So the one thing I forgot to mention initially recording this is how to scale it at the end game, and there have been changes to the game recently that I think make Ascendant really strong. So there's the question of ascendancies with Ascendant, right? You can pick between them, and curses have been giga buffed this league, so curses are really good. So what you can actually do with Ascendant, I think this is the way to fully scale this build at the very end game, is to go occultist on the ascendancy. It's either with Forbidden Flame of Flesh or just specking it. Right now I'm running Elementalist because just some pure damage, but when I managed to set it up, I think Occultist is really good because of the additional curse, and then you go additional curse here, and then you go grab Whispers of Doom, so you get 3 curses, and you put them in like an Arcanist brand, and you just manually cast Sniper Smoke or something like that. And you triple curse, and this giga boosts your damage. Like each curse is like at least 50% more damage, I think. The problem I have with this right now is just my gem slots. It's very difficult to fit this in a reasonable way, which wouldn't like it's difficult to fit in a way where you don't just manually cast 3 curses. So I'm trying to work on this, but the damage potential there is just insane. So yeah, I'm trying to work on that, making that work, because I think there's a lot to be gained if we manage to solve that problem. So maybe if I find a good solution for that, I'll make it up to do this video. And yes, I know this build is not the most cost-effective build damage-wise or anything, or the most broken build in the league or anything like that. I just chose to play it because I got that relic and I quite enjoy Spark, and this is a fun build to make. And if you have the currency too, obviously. If I wanted just the most pure performance, I'd probably do strength stacking, right? Like that build is just fucking crazy. But I didn't really want to. I don't know. I'd already leveled the Scion, and I didn't want to level another character. And yeah, so we're doing this for now. Maybe I'll switch later. We'll see. Maybe we'll do later in the league do a strength stacker. But for now, this is what I'm rolling with. So that's the build. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't want to go into too much detail because these videos get bogged down very easily, but this build is very strong. I mean, it's close to unkillable. These maps it's realistically, it's actually slower for mapping than my EK build. The EK build is just like god tier mapping, but you do die a bit with EK, and I just like being super tanky, so I'm very happy with this, and I'm fine being a bit slower. Because it also lets me ramp up the delirium amounts on the maps as well. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this build, and if you want to see it in action after this video is uploaded, I'm going to be live on Twitch for a bit. So my Twitch channel is SebK94. I'm going to try stream a bit more this week. It's been a while since I properly streamed a lot, but if you want to check that out, I'll be live for a bit, and I figured I'd do a plug here because, oh, you know, why not? But yeah, so yeah, I'll be playing this and farming up some currency and doing upgrades. R-Stacker, as always, you can sink a lot of money into this, and I mean, you can look at my passive tree, all these one passive voices. Yeah, a lot of currency has been sunk into this already, and yeah, but it's really fun. I've been making this work, and yeah, it's been cool. So that's it for this video. I'll show off some map footage at the end here maybe, and we will yeah, see. I'll do more videos on this. So thanks for watching.